You see, the Bible reveals that there are two levels of sin that Jesus came to deal with. And understanding both is key to truly appreciating what it means to call Jesus our Savior. The first kind of sin is the condition we are all born into. You didn't choose it. It is inherited, something passed down from Adam and Eve. Now, sin at this level is not about guilt. It's about a condition. It is like being born with a terminal illness. We don't get blamed for having it, but if we don't do something, if we don't receive treatment, it will eventually take our life. Not because God is punishing us, but because being cut off from the life giver naturally leads to non-life, which is death. Then there is this second level of sin, the choices we make. Now this is when we personally and knowingly go against what we know is right. Now these choices are what bring guilt because they involve our will. Now James put it very clearly in 4:17. Now this kind of sin, whether it is bitterness, whether it's greed, lust, or lies, is what each of us is responsible for. And it is when we take our broken condition, but then when we act out of it in rebellion against God's ways, the natural consequence of these choices will be spiritual death. It's not a legal punishment again from God, but a self-inflicted separation from the life giver. So given this, Jesus had to fix both level 1 and level 2 sin. And this is what he did. First, Jesus had to step into our broken humanity. He took on the same condition as you and I have. He became human, in other words, in every way. Hebrews chapter 4, verse 15. He was tempted. He was tired. He was hungry, even misunderstood. But unlike us, Jesus did not succumb to that temptation. Instead, he stayed fully connected to the life giver God. He never sinned, not even once. Now that means he healed the human condition from the inside out. He rewrote what it means to be human, in other words. He showed us that a human being living in full trust and connection with God, the life giver, can actually overcome sin. And that's level 1 conquered from the inside out, the level 1 which is the terminal condition of humanity. Then Jesus did something even greater. He took that healed, victorious humanity, he took that to the cross. He laid down his human life and put down the broken condition of sin, put it to death. Then he rose again. He didn't just come back to life. He crushed the power of death itself when he rose again. He proved that when a person lives in full harmony with God's original life-giving design for you and I, not even death can hold us back. Did you realize that? And now, Jesus' resurrection becomes the gateway to defeating level 2 sin, our personal sins. He offers us not only forgiveness, but new hearts, new minds, and the power to live with a new life, just as we were designed to be when God made us. So now, what do we do with that? Well, just like any life-saving treatment, the cure only works if you receive it. Jesus doesn't force healing into anyone. That would violate the law of liberty of God. So when we say Jesus is our Savior, we are not talking about some legal loophole up in heavenly court somewhere. We are talking about the healer of humanity who came to restore what was broken and who came to cure both the terminal condition of sin and to forgive and cleanse us from our personal sins that we have chosen. Now, this is what it means when we say Jesus is our Savior. God bless us all.